So I'm going to have to be careful here when I say Arabs. So I'm going to try to remember to say Muslim Arabs so that you know I'm not talking about the Christian Arabs fighting for the Romans or the Persians. Right? But for the record, there are Jewish Arabs too in the whole mix, just to make it really complicated. In any case, they march to Muta. And what Khalid ibn Walid does is he'll take soldiers and he'll give them a banner and he'll have them sneak around a hill at night. So they're behind the hill. And then in the daytime, he'll have them come over the top of the hill. And then when they arrive where the Arab army is, he secretly sneaks them another banner. They sneak around the backside of the hill and then they'll come over the top of it again. And then he gives them another banner and then they'll go around the back of the hill and they'll come over the top. So the Romans watching this are like, man, look at all the reinforcements they're getting. And it was just the same group of guys that just kept marching in a circle around this hill. And then when the sun went down, he would have each man set 5, 10 campfires and then try to keep walking around in front of the campfires. So the Romans watching it would not only see a bunch of campfires, they would see all these men walking in front of the campfires. And he just kept doing these tricks. And what it did was it kept the Romans from attacking because the Romans thought, man, I don't know how big that force is. There's so many of them. And he kept doing this until he finally got far enough away from the Roman army, he could just tell his men to run, let's run. And they ran. He was replaced by a guy named Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr didn't take the title king. He didn't take the title emperor. He took the title follower of the messenger of God and became the ruler of this Muslim-controlled chunk of Arabia. He made 2 armies. What Khalid liked to, the way battles went back then, everybody did this, the Persians, the Romans, everybody did this, is they would send champions to go fight each other before the battle. But what the Arabs liked to do was first poetry. So they would get their best improv poet, because they would improv right there. They didn't have a poem written in advance. And they would get that poet to shout to the other army a poem. And the belief was that if you shouted a good enough poem, the other side should give you the field and walk away. And of course, the Persians are like, screw you, we don't even speak Arabic, we don't know what you're saying. So after the Arab shouts this poetry at the Persians who are annoyed, Khalid walks out and says, I'm my champion. It's a really quick fight. And so now the Persians are going to go into the battle without their general. And what Khalid did was he just kept using his cavalry to do these charges against the Persians that just kept them off balance until finally he broke up their order. And what they should have done was they should have repositioned, or they should have retreated a little bit and then repositioned, but they can't because they're chained together. And he swings his cavalry around the backside and starts harassing them and he tears them to pieces. The estimate is that he brought 18,000 men against 20,000 Persians, the same Persians who tore those Romans to pieces almost 700 years prior. And he walked away with a couple hundred killed, and the Persians lost, and most were killed or captured.